Hey Wranglers, how you doing? I'm here today. I've returned, and I want to remind you to tell your friends and to like and subscribe. And I put a link down. I'm going to put a link in the description for a couple things, but one of them is my merchandise is back up. If you want to go look there and get yourself a nice neon Wrangler hat, like
Oh yeah,
my
that's nice.
guest star is wearing, or a coffee cup, or some other stuff. And it's pretty cool. Anyway, today's topic is weird stuff you didn't know, and we're going to be talking about that. And as you can see above me, you probably recognize what that thing is. Let me introduce my co-star here. This is my offspring. I think his name
Yeah,
is.
it's super unfortunate.
I think his.
What is his
Fine. I
name?
think his name's Jack or something like that. I don't remember. I was.
He was a yeah, no, I just kind of showed up one day,
Yeah,
it was
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he's mine, but that's what his mom says. But anyway, it's been 18 years that he's been hanging around, so I kind of got used to him. Anyway, enough of that. Let me take off my glasses so I don't look so unsexy because I am the sexiest man on the internet. Um, so anyway, what we're looking at here. Oh, this is what? Excuse me. Today we're going to talk about weird stuff you didn't know. Some of you are going to know some of this stuff, and I'm hoping that I can help you learn a few things. And you keep looking at that thing up above my head here, this weird looking creature. That's a Portuguese man of war, if you didn't know, which is a very dangerous jellyfish that uh, messes with people. And of course, it lives in the ocean. I can't remember exactly where they are. I mean, people run into them in different places. But what is unusual about this jellyfish compared to a lot of other jellyfish is it's what's called a siphonophore. And what that means is it's a colony organism. You're not looking at one creature there. You're looking at about five or six different creatures that all come together and they work together to feed the whole colony. Some of them are some of them are stomach creatures that act as a stomach. Some of them are creatures that act as for defense. Some of them are sensory and kind of like the sort of like a brain type of mechanism, I would guess, in there. But they each have different roles for the colony, and once they take some prey and pull it in, it's like a factory. The different organisms in the colony start processing their different bits and doing their different things. So that's what you're seeing there. This guy's a siphonophore, and but the Portuguese man of war can get pretty big, and they are very deadly even after they're dead. You don't want to be messing with them or touching them. They can what, Jack?
so you don't want to touch the jellyfish, huh?
No, you don't want to touch a jellyfish. And if you ever get stung by a jellyfish, what you want to do is pee on the jellyfish as quickly as you can. No, not, no. What you want to do is you
Don't go for the jellyfish because there's a lot of bite.
pee on him. That'll keep your
Yeah, give me
stinging.
back.
Well, the wives' tales, and a lot of times, if you get stung by a jelly, you got to pee on the wound. But there's some jellies that won't work for, like the box jellyfish. And hang on a
Oh,
second.
that's great. Imagine, right? You're just sitting there,
Yeah.
guys on the beach,
Yeah,
you piss on him,
no,
fish doesn't even go away.
right. Well, the box jellyfish isn't going to be on the beach. They're tiny.
Oh yeah,
They're like this big,
oh yeah.
itty bitty
Those are
guys.
like that will fucking kill you, right?
Yeah, they will kill you. In fact, basically, they put you through an immense. It's a very painful death. Takes about an hour, but yeah, they're about the size of a. There's some of them are so tiny that it's ridiculous, and some of them are like this, and they can. What are you doing? Put my cane down, dumbass. What they can do is they can actually the box jellies they sting people. You can't even hardly see them in the water at all, and they usually only have four tentacles. But one of the things that they're around Australia all the time, and one of the things that not divers, but swimmers can do or divers can do is they basically put pantyhose all over their body because the thing is so delicate that its stingers actually can't get through pantyhose, believe it or not. So they make that kind of stuff on their arms or hands or
Oh
exposed
shit.
areas. Yeah,
Yeah, that's small, huh?
and do that.
You can't even go through that.
They're tiny, yeah, but if you get stung by one, it is just horrible. I saw a video where a guy like a professor
Mm.
and two students got stung by it, and they were okay for about 20 minutes. They got into shore, then they rushed them into the hospital, and all three of them were moaning and in just horrible pain while they pumped them full of morphine. And they said that barely even touched it. And one of the rules there is just don't go to Australia. They have the box jellyfish down there. They have great whites. They have the gimpy plant, which we'll get into it another time. Oh, I'll just might as well talk about it now. I don't have a picture of it. A gimpy is this big leaf, and it looks nice and soft on the outside, and on the underside is all these little spines, and it's supposed to be the worst pain you can have. There's a story about a guy that he wiped his ass with it once, and he ended up committing suicide not too much longer after that. I think it was a couple of weeks or days or something. And I'm not even sure. It was not the same day, but he ended up killing himself because it hurt so bad. And if you get stung by a gimpy, like on your arm or whatever, it's going to hurt like hell for a while. But then it's going to go, then eventually it'll go away. But the thing about that is you can never get those little spines out. I mean, they're so small and they're so delicate. Once in a while they flare up again, and you feel the same pain you did when you got stung. So once again, if you're going to Australia, wear your pantyhose is the rule of thumb there. Here's some more siphonophores. They look like little ghosts. That's why I included them. And these are also colony organisms, just like the Portuguese man of war. Now, they ain't jellyfish, they're siphonophores. And the other one was both a jellyfish and a siphonophore. And so, anyway, that's what some other ones look like. Some of them look like long, just like coils of rope or something like that, of translucent rope, delicate rope. So that's a siphonophore for you, a colony organism, a group of organisms that work together as one, and they are both an individual and multiple organisms at the same time. So there you go. You can almost say the same thing about us. We have bacteria living in our stomachs and stuff that help us digest food and things like that.
That's
So
why they got ghosts and shit.
and that's probably why we got ghosts, yeah, because they die. When your bacteria dies, it generates little tiny bacteria-sized ghosts that roam around your house and mess with stuff. They're poultry-geists or whatever you call them. And then, so let's move on to the next thing. Well, it's a hornet. You all know what a hornet is, or yeah, I believe
Oh yeah,
it's
hornets are badass.
hornets are badass. And I told this story before on my channel, but I'm going to rehash it real quick. When I was a kid in Alaska, we found a hornet's nest that was about 4 feet off the ground, 3 or 4 feet, and for whatever brain dead idea, we decided we were going to go get the hornet's nest. So we drove out there on our bikes and we took a trash bag and we walked up to it and put the trash bag around the nest on the limb it was on, and we broke the limb off and tied up the trash bag and drove home. Now, I don't understand how we didn't get stung because I remember standing there. I think I was breaking the branch, and I remember seeing the hornets coming right at me, kind of like dive bombing at me and all that. And I just don't understand why they didn't attack us. Well, the reason is hornets will only attack when they come out of the nest to protect the nest. If these other hornets were wandering around doing whatever the hell hornets do, I don't even know, just basically stinging folks and getting liquored up and being mean to people. I don't know what they're out there doing, but coming back to the nest, they're not going to attack. But once we wrap the nest up, the hornets that were in that bag would have stung us. That's the only reason we didn't get our asses just stung to hell that day. And I learned that why we didn't get stung probably 20 years later, But that's something that about hornets I never knew is they only attack you when they're coming out of their nest. But
Oh
don't
no, they have like they have like strategies. They'll have guard like during the day they have two scouts outside their nest that are just there just to lay out, just to scout shit out.
cool. I didn't know
Like
that.
they have, yeah, no, it's crazy.
That's interesting. I see. That's something else I didn't know. But don't try this at home, guys. Don't go messing with hornets' nests. Do not, do not, do not. I'm going to say it again. Do not go messing with hornets' nests. Don't be messing with
Do it.
siphonophores. What?
Do it. Mess with them.
No, Jack. No,
Put your dig in the hornet's nest.
don't listen to him. Do not mess with them. Anyway, here's what that hornet's nest looked like. That's almost
You got a nice hole in it right there.
yeah, that's almost identical to what it looked like. And in fact, it was. You say, wait a minute, why there's hornets in Alaska? Oh yeah, there was hornets in Alaska during the summer when you have basically 3 months of constant daylight. Um, Lots of big vegetables and stuff grow up there. Wild strawberries, raspberries, huge cabbages, all that kind of stuff. And there's a lots of bugs around, believe it or not. Mostly hornets, and there's a few
Got
ants and
the
stuff.
bug.
Yeah, so there were bugs in Alaska. There were no snakes or anything like that, but bugs are durable. So that's about what that hornet's nest looked like, And well, that give you some good example of what it was like going up to that thing and putting the trash bag around it and driving it home. Anyway, so don't mess with hornets. Do not do that. Do not ever do what I did. Don't ever, ever, ever do it.
He did it again, by the way.
No, well, here's a cool one. This is a crow. And if you look carefully, I'm going to expand this damn thing. There's a whole video on this on YouTube. You can look up training crows to get you money. This crow is trained to find money. It looks like England, and he'll get the money and bring it back and put it in this drawer. There's a whole video of him doing it. This person trained him to do that, and I've heard of other instances where this has happened. You can train crows to, get you money and do all kinds of things. One guy was. One time, a guy had a bird feeder in his backyard that the crows liked, and the crows would bring him little stuff. Like crows will give you gifts back if you feed them, like rocks or whatever the hell something shiny. Well, one day a crow brought back a dollar bill, and the guy saw it. So the next day he put in like really good, tasty food, and the crows came and they loved it. So guess what started happening? The crows started every time they bring you back some cash money, they get the good food.
No,
So yeah, that's a true story. So they had crows out there on the watch for this stuff. Now they can't rob anybody, but this is stuff they pick up off the ground. It's probably
just random shit.
yeah. Just random. Someone would drop $1 at a 7-Eleven or whatever they call it in Britain. So 8 to noon or governor. That was a terrible accent. I should.
That was pretty ass.
I could actually do I can do several kinds of English accents. This is a more proper English accent. That's the way they talk in the Houses of Parliament.
Dude, my ears are gonna start bleeding. I swear.
No, it's good. Shut up. And then, but then you can, I can't even do the newer accents. The Liverpool accent is gone now. You can watch the EastEnders or something like that, or you can do something like, that kind of crap. I don't even want to do it. We're not doing accents today. I need to practice and warm up practice them and warm up more. Anyway, next we got
what?
Nothing. You're pissing me off. Anyway, okay. This is interesting. Chimps seem to be using more tools than they used to. In fact, this chimp here has made a spear. Chimps will take sticks and they will sharpen the ends, and they use them to hunt mammals. Okay, that's no lie. And they break. They've learned to use rocks to smash things. They've learned to do this. They're starting to use more and more tools. They use, I guess, they'll put a stick down in an anthill and do that. They've done that forever, but now they're starting to make spears and stuff, and and go hunting mammals with them. The chimps do. Here is a gorilla using a stick. If you can see the stick there in his hand extended. Gorillas will take these big long sticks, and they think they're using it. The gorillas are using it to gauge how deep the water is. Now, I'm not sure if gorillas swim or not. Probably not, because they use the sticks to gauge the water and to walk through it. But I don't know. I don't know if gorillas can swim, but that's what they tend to do, and they do it a lot. They're using these depth finders, is what we think they're using them for.
Pretty smart.
Yeah, and there's a gorilla right there doing it. A mountain. He's probably big. He's going to sink in the mud if he's not careful. So, here's a chimp banging on something with a rock. And I don't know what he's banging on. I couldn't see it in the picture, but he's using a rock as a tool. This is pretty much where we were in the Stone Age: sharpened sticks and rocks. Here's a chimp at a construction site that would grab a hammer and bang on things.
That's certified right there.
Yeah, he's going to get certified. He's going to become a tradesman. I think he's an apprentice right now.
Well, I mean, don't they have the Coco and the other chimpanzees that they taught to do sign language and stuff?
They do.
That's crap's crazy.
That is cool, and they say that they and that's a little bit controversial. I tend to think that the chimps probably know most of the time what they're trying to say, but I think that some people say, oh, they're just randomly signing, and the people watching them sign are picking out the words they want or whatever. I don't know about that one way or the other. I'm sure there's studies on both sides, and someone's going to come yell at me, oh, it's proven wrong, and then in other words, like, no, it's proven right. And
it's like Pluto's a planet, Pluto's not a planet.
Right. Thanks Neil deGrasse Tyson for that. And okay, now we come to one of the most interesting creatures on the planet, the mantis shrimp. This guy, first of all, one of the things that's incredible about him is his little forearms there. When they fire out either to stab or capture or whatever, or just smack an opponent, they travel so fast that they leave a cavitation bubble in the water that actually emits light. And
Oh shit.
yeah, because the ions react. It's like a heat. It's something I was reading somewhere where it was that the heat that's generated for a minute second when they do that is like almost like solar heat. The heat of the sun is what it was saying, something like 4,500 degrees or something like that. I don't know Kelvin or what, but they were saying, I mean, that's because this thing is moving so fast and back. I mean, that cavitation bubble. Now, it's not like the whole thing catches on fire. We're talking about the sparks or whatever, the little lights that get emitted from the electrons or whatever that happen when that reaction occurs.
Closing back in on itself.
Yeah. And so that they say that, and there's videos you can go to YouTube like this. I didn't, and watch videos of mantis shrimp like breaking the legs off of crabs or killing things. They can be pretty dangerous. They're pretty quick. They swim pretty fast, and they're pretty interesting. And one thing that's interesting about them is they have 13 times our visual acuity, not even our resolution, but they can see things that we can't see. Okay, they can see colors we can't see because our eyes has rods and cones. They have different. They have an even more advanced structure in their eyes that allows them to see colors that we can't see. Now, this is going to be really interesting. I put a link in the description where you can go and find out about these colors we can't see. They have several different kinds. In fact, it'll even tell you how to see some of them. Some of them are like self-illuminating colors. It looks like they're glowing. They're not really glowing, but they look like they're glowing. Other ones are like as dark as black or darker than black, but they actually have a color to them. And that's a pretty interesting concept. And then there's another kind that they talk about on there. You'll see the link in the excuse me, in the description. I've been able to do one of them, and I was able to look at one where it was I think maybe combined them or something on is there a different article, and I got to where I was looking at something black, and what I saw was this like luminous red square that was darker than the black, but still radiating a glow. I don't know how else to describe it. It's the type of colors that we can't see, but they're persistent in the world like that. So it's almost like ultraviolet advanced. And but yeah, I encourage you to go to that link below to see if you can. They tell you how to do it. It goes all into these colors of different kinds, and it tells you how to try to see them and do that. But there's some you just aren't going to see, but there's some that they have techniques for. So anyway, this is weird stuff you may or may not have known. Next show we'll probably get back to some crime and things like not committing crime, but talking about crime.
Committing crime, my favorite.
Yeah, but you're not good at it. You get caught all the time. So don't commit crimes with me, boy.
Okay, fine.
You get us both thrown in the pokey. Okay, in fact, as a neon wrangler, I'm going to go rob a train.
Let's do that. Yeah, sounds fun.
Now, rob a train means I'm going to take the plastic silverware with me. I'm going to buy a ride to Atlanta and take some plastic silverware and put it in my pocket and walk off.
Probably the only one in there.
Yeah, probably well, I'm not going to tell her where we're at, but yeah. Anyway, Amtrak station is near my house. So, guys, thanks again. Now, remember to like and subscribe. Tell your friends and relatives and everybody else and I'd sure appreciate it. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers so I can do some live shows. I think that'd be fun, and I appreciate my co-star Jack here being on board.
Sup, man? Yeah, I'll hopefully be in more.
Yeah, he'll be in here more. He's going to be here for a while, probably till he's 50. But he gets no play. I tell you what.
25 if you're lucky.
All right, you guys. Have a good one. See you at the next roundup.